Wolves won in the first quarter with just the way that they came out and flattened you guys?
Yeah, kind of the way we came out too. You know, that was disappointing, and I'd say that's from now until Monday, that's our biggest focus is, you know, why do we have these first quarters, and how do we rectify it? And you know, it's like we've talked about, and like I've said in availability is, you know, we got to use these games to build and improve. You know, obviously competing is at the highest of that on that list, but we got to build so that we don't dig ourselves these holes.
What kind of a backbreaker was Bolden tonight, just knocking down the shots over and over?
Yeah, he hurt us. He hurt us, and he hurt us in Philadelphia too. So it's he gave them a great lift, and it's a nice luxury to have.
Your third or second half defense was better from deep than the first half. Was it strictly effort, or was it just adherence to a system, or what was it?
Yeah, actually we started switching more in the second half, and I think that helped us keep a body on a body, and that was something that I've wanted to try, and we actually did that last night too in the second half.
But it didn't seem to hurt you inside.
And yeah, it didn't hurt us inside with things. So I mean that's, you know, I like seeing that. You know, they run a lot of catch and shoot actions too, and you know, we had guys start fighting Reddick more towards that fourth quarter where he wasn't getting wide open, but a couple of those offensive rebounds and dagger threes really hurt us.
And then the third quarter was a repeat of the first quarter, first 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah.
Is that why you called timeout?
Exactly.
This is yet another continue that consecutive good run of games from Andrew. Does this remind you of previous times in his career he's played well in bunches, or is this something that's different in your eyes?
I'd like to say it's something different. I'd like to say it's something different because it's not like we're force feeding him the ball with things. He's getting a lot of his scores in the open court and in other ways. You know, early in his career when you know, his first and second year when, you know, we were a lottery team very early in the season. You know, I was here for that. We were really trying to find where he was comfortable with and trying to get him comfortable and find things that work. So we were really trying to, I guess you could say, force feed him the ball. And you know, if you keep doing that, you know, you're going to have more opportunities to score. Here he's getting it more within a system and within an offense and a flow.
What do you like about Mitch Creek, and how important is it to get looks at guys like him and Cam Reynolds, obviously before you sign into the long-term deal, just get eyes on young guys who can maybe help you?
Yeah, and I think we saw tonight why we like Cam. You know, 13 points in basically 15 and a half minutes. You know, his shooting ability, you know, we like bringing these guys in where, you know, hey, they might have not had a full opportunity yet in the NBA, and then you can find a diamond in the rough at times. But Mitch Creek, he's tough. He's tough, and he's a culture guy. You know, he's going to play hard on both ends of the court. Obviously, that's something that we're continuing to stress. And with us getting, you know, a little bit younger as a group, especially right now when we got a number of veterans down with injury, it's good to fill another guy in there in that age range, and then let these guys, you know, grow together to be sustainably successful.
As it relates to the start, do you sense that this was more the pattern that you were talking about, or could this be attributable to the atmosphere around tonight's game with Jimmy coming back?
You know, the atmosphere wasn't, you know, I didn't think that overwhelmed us, really. I mean, I was concerned coming into the game of a letdown from last night. Because, you know, that's human nature in a lot of ways, and you know, you got to guard against that. And we were adamant today as a staff, and adamant, you know, and I talked to the veteran guys a lot about, you know, in the locker room before the game, keeping the young guys, you know, locked in with it all. But that's part of that's part of growing to be, you know, where you're consistently good. And I think handling that was the first time out. What I said was we got to be able to handle. We've handled adversity, but we got to be able to handle success too. And I think that's a big thing.
couple of rough shooting nights in a row for Carl now. What is it? Just a little funk that happens in the season? What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens, and I mean, especially with the run he made, for a while there, and there's still time for him to get back on that run. But the run he made, he's going to command more attention, and they were running guys at him early in the game. And then actually it continued more towards the middle of the game where they were actually being more aggressive on the catch. So he's still, he's done a good job, finding his teammates with things too. But we kind of ran out of gas a little bit.
The second unit is pretty short, but I mean they keep bringing you back into games or keeping you in it. I mean, what are you just seeing out of those guys right now? Just
an energy and an edge, and that was the reason the second unit, a couple of those guys got to keep going. If we feel like, I mean, one of our issues was staying on Reddick's body and just really getting through some of these catch and shoot actions. So we had a couple guys that came in and they did a nice job with that. So we just kind of rolled with them.
Was Jared bringing the edge? Is that what you're looking for? Because he was 2 for 11. You just kind of wonder what you were seeing there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I saw. And then it's not always going to be. We made the comeback when he was in there, and it's not always going to be where where a guy is in there just because he's making shots. It's hey, he brought an edge for us, and we cut it to 3 a couple times.
And that second unit did seem to be a better switching unit out on the perimeter. I mean, some of that common sense says you need similar-sized guys who also have a hint of quickness. I mean, that kind of defines some of those second unit guys.
No, exactly, and that was also one of the reasons with Jared. He's a little bit more size, and so they couldn't go just directly into Simmons when we were switching that 1 through 4 because hey, we made a decision. The threes were killing us, and so we wanted to try to go to something. Started working, so we stayed with it.
Oliver understands 3-point defense, it seems.
Yeah,
really well.
He does. He's just smart with it, and he gave us a good lift last night, and Dario gave us a good lift last night. But tonight, AT, hey, he was 3 for 3. You had to go with him.
You talked about making the decision to switch more. Just defensively as a whole, I'm curious, over the course of the rest of the season, what do you need to see to feel like you guys are taking a step in the right direction, and it's kind of coming together on that end?
I mean, simply put, I'd like to see our 3-point percentage go down. The opposition's 3-point percentage go down, and then I'd like to take out these 30-point quarters. I mean, if we're just going to simple goals, and I think that's important to simplify goals, especially in the short term. So just having those two things would be nice.